A new ban on intentionally added microplastics will affect artificial turf pitches as of October 17, 2031. As of October 17, 2031, it will no longer be allowed to sell nor buy rubber granulate to be used as infill material on artificial turf pitches. Until October 17, 2031, it is still allowed to construct, use and maintain artificial turf pitches with rubber granulate as infill material. From October 17, 2031 onwards, it will still be allowed to use and maintain artificial turf pitches, but if refill of rubber granulate is required, it must be from own stock. At Silkeborgbanen.eu, you can draw inspiration on how to limit the spreading of microplastics from artificial turf pitches. The EU has just now adopted a new regulation aiming to limit plastic pollution, including pollution caused by microplastics. The new restriction applies to intentionally added microplastics. The dispersal of microplastics originating from car tire wear on roads is thus not covered. The EU restriction applies to intentionally added microplastics in many different products, such as cosmetics, detergents, toys, and glitter. The definition of microplastics used in the EU restriction is broad, including all synthetic polymer articles which are smaller than 5 mm in all dimensions, and which are organic, insoluble, and non-biodegradable. Rubber granules used as infill material for synthetic sports surfacing, including artificial turf pitches, are typically 0.7 to 3 mm in diameter and made from synthetic polymer, meaning that these granules can be defined as microplastics. As granulate is intentionally added to pitches, for example during the construction phase of an artificial turf pitch, the new EU restriction applies. Microplastics encapsulated within a matrix, for example shock pads, which may be made from molded rubber granules, are not covered by the ban. Insofar as restricting the spreading of microplastics from artificial turf pitches, two solutions were on the table during the EU process. The RMM solution, where pitches with proper containment measures, like the ones at the test and development pitch in Silkeborgbanen, could be exempted from a ban. A ban with a long transition period, initially discussed as a 6-year phase-in period, but in the end adopted as an 8-year phase-in period. The solution adopted was a total ban with a transition period, and an acknowledgement of the fact that there are currently no alternative artificial turf systems in the market which match the quality of artificial turf with rubber infill. The transition period was extended. During the EU process, the Danish authorities advocated for the RMM solution, where pitches with proper containment measures, including barriers and exit gates with grates, would be exempted from the ban. Yet the Danish representatives were not met with sufficient support from their European colleagues for the ban proposed by the EU Commission to be changed. The Danish government is in favor of reducing the amount of plastic spread to nature, including microplastics. The Danish government thus supported the overall restriction of microplastics, although efforts to exempt artificial turf pitches with containment measures were unsuccessful. No matter whether you continue to work with artificial turf pitches with rubber granulate, or whether you work with alternative infill materials, you should aim for infill and grass blade residue, turf abrasion, not to leave the artificial turf pitch. In this connection, good maintenance routines play an important role. At the test pitch in Silkeborg, we have demonstrated how to keep total dispersal of microplastics to surroundings at a level of less than 3 kilos per pitch per year, as long as players refrain from emptying granulate from their football boots into nature. At the test pitch in Silkeborg, no micro-rubber or rubber granulate has been found in the drainage water. Further information is available on Silkeborgbanen.eu.